Good evening and thank you for joining us. It has happened again today. Another aerial object was shot down by U.S. warplanes amid bipartisan criticism about an absence of details regarding these incidents. The latest shootdown happened over Lake Huron following those over Canada's Yukon Territory and off the coast of Alaska and the Carolinas. In a tweet, Representative Elisa Slotkin of Michigan said the object was downed by pilots from the U.S. Air Force and National Guard. CBS's Skylar Henry starts us off tonight at the White House, where officials there are responding. Skylar, good evening.
Hey, Jerika, good evening to you. 4 takedowns in 8 days. It's the latest in a series of responses to those unidentified high-altitude objects floating over North America. Officials on both sides are demanding more details, as other officials say that the objects were smaller and didn't closely resemble the Chinese spy balloon that was shot down earlier this month.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau doubled down on his decision to take out an unidentified object over the Yukon on Saturday.
It represented a reasonable threat to civilian aircraft, so I gave the order to take it down.
U.S. and Canadian forces are now in recovery mode, piecing together several objects that American fighter jets shot down. The U.S. downed an aerial object the size of a small car on Friday over Alaska. It landed on sea ice, and crews are still working to get answers on who owned it and what it was.
The predominant concern by the president was a safety of flight issue at that altitude.
Lawmakers who were critical over President Biden's timing on shooting down a Chinese spy balloon earlier this month say while they're demanding details on who's behind the latest objects, they're pleased with the response.
I would prefer them to be trigger happy than to be permissive.
What's gone on the last 2 weeks or so, 10 days, has been nothing short of craziness. And the military needs to have a plan to not only determine what's out there, but determine the dangers that go with it.
Officials are on alert, temporarily shutting down the airspace over Montana on Saturday after concerns of a radar anomaly near the Canadian border. Today, they said it was an unmanned object, which was shot down over Lake Huron.
Now, senior administration officials here at the White House say that they have no indication that the latest unmanned object had surveillance capabilities, but they are not ruling that out. They also say that the object didn't pose any military threats to the ground.